Good Sunday morning, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Superior forecasting for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I am meteorologist Robert Smith. Daily video forecast discussion for this Sunday, the 26th of April, 2020. I took a couple of days off from meteorology because, let's face it, everybody's brain is shot. And, this shopping and cooking and cleaning and, after 7 weeks, I think everybody's just a little bit exhausted by this point. And personally, I took a couple of days off from meteorology. It's not that I'm not looking at it, but, everybody needs a break now and again. So today, instead of doing all of the blog site updates, I decided to do one big gigantic video forecast discussion, and here it is for this Sunday, the 26th of April, 2020. And of course, with everything in bloom, I have my sinus issues. We all have issues, but I have sinus issues, and, I got a migraine headache as well. We'll start off today with the low-level water vapor channel imagery. Here's our upper level low now spinning. If we can get this thing to work right. Yeah, our upper level low here spinning in the Ohio River Valley area. There is some dry air punching in right now. So this forecast looks a little bit iffy to me for today because most of the moisture has been sent to the north and east and out over the coastal waters. So this is the current loop of the water vapor. And we want to go back and do this one more time. See if we get this right. Yeah. And I think the frames we want 48 frames. Yeah. It's like Baskin-Robbins, but with 48 frames in it. So we see our upper level low spinning here over the Ohio River Valley. All the moisture is lifting to the north and east. And as you can see, by the end of this loop here, we have a dry air punch in the low levels of the atmosphere. In the upper levels of the atmosphere, that's a different story. There's still plenty of moisture here, but all of the moisture seems to be to the north and to the east and out over the ocean, as we can see by this line of upper level water vapor channel here with the cold front extending all the way down through Florida. Lots of things going on nationally here. We have new energy in the northwest and also a stream of moisture coming in from, we call this express here in California and into the Rockies and the southern plains. High pressure over the Midwest right now, and our upper level low, which it looks like it's trying to occlude or close off. And there's a lot of blocking here in the northern Atlantic, and that's the reason why this thing isn't moving too fast. But, underneath it, in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, there's a little bit of drying patch right now after a little bit of early rain this morning and the cold front. Now, if we take a look at, and I want to take a look at the latest surface chart from weatherroanoak.com, digital atmosphere software. Here's high pressure over the south and central plains. Here's our closed occluded low here over the Ohio River Valley with a nearly stationary front and a warm front with a weak wave of low pressure here over Virginia, and some light precipitation across the northeast this morning at about 9:19. So this broadcast it starts at 10 o'clock this morning. So, and here's our cold front now, sinking down through the Carolinas into northern Georgia, southern Georgia, and ports of Florida this morning, and a new system coming into the west. Severe weather storm browser from WeatherNet or iWeatherNet.com shows the upper level low here over the Ohio River Valley area. All the moisture is now north into the Hudson River Valley and then off the coast. It doesn't help that, Philadelphia's radar is down for major upgrade at this point, but we can see the mosaic from all the Doppler radars here. So some of the moisture that you're seeing or that you're not seeing here on Doppler radar is actually probably just light, but it's still happening. We'll look at the Dover, Delaware, and New York City radars in just a moment. We had some wind reports here off of the North Carolina coast, and of course some heavy rain here just south of Chicago and over the Louisville, Kentucky area and Indianapolis, Indiana area here overnight and this morning. We have upglide precipitation across California. What else is new? And an interspersal of some light precipitation, mostly rain here in Idaho and the upper mountains of Utah and portions of Colorado as well. Everything else seems quiet. couple of heavier storms here mixed in across central and southern Florida's panhandle with some wind, but, nothing looks too impressive to me right now. Storm tracks. We don't need to do any storm tracks. Let's see if there's any lightning out there. Yeah, most all of the lightning actually now is south of across the Keys and into the Gulf and off the coast as well. Early this morning, it's pretty cold across most of the nation. Chilly too. Chilly, cold, cold, chilly. It's warm here across the southeast and portions of southern Florida and the Gulf Coast as naturally expected, and southern California and Arizona into Mexico, where everybody should be to begin with. But everything else looks quite chilly, and for this time of the year, not so good. And back to Jersey we go with the New Jersey Weather Records weather site. Thank you so much. Look at these temperatures. This is cold for this time of the year. This is like 10, 12, 15 degrees below where it should be, especially here in Sussex County. That's cold. High Point, well, nobody lives here at the monument, but it's 39. You can't go up there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then temperatures warming into the 40s and low 50s throughout the area, but it's still a pretty raw day. If we looked at the minimums today, again, temperatures basically bottomed out in the 40s because we had a lot of cloud cover and we had some precipitation. Of course, the wind chill chart is not working again. It hasn't, it's on, it's off. Relative humidity values, well, they're going to be high. They're in the 80s and 90s right now as a result of the amount of water that's in the air. Wind speeds are all out of the east. So it's a raw day. Some of the winds are a little stronger here around the coast and over interior central and southern New Jersey, and the wind gust, about that too. Yeah, so they're gusty. They are gusty for sure. And the latest radar, which obviously is unavailable because, it's a major upgrade that's going on, and the upgrade process isn't going to go that well. It's going to be slow. It's government, you know that. Yes, I do have a splitting headache this morning. Part of it is social media, part of it is news, part of it is the whole experience, actually. So here's the national hazards that we have for you right now. Winter weather advisories here in upstate New York and portions of northern New England and Maine here. We have some wind advisories here in the south. Flooding from, all the rain and the tributaries here down through the Mississippi River Valley. Yeah, everything just continues to pile up, run down the Mississippi, and flood. And then, of course, we have red flag warnings for fire dangers here across the Montana and also portions of the Central Plains. And then, we haven't seen this in a while, the excessive heat watch, actually. Excessive heat watch and red flag warnings combined in Nevada and Southern California here. Oh dear. And from Null School actually, Null Earth, we can see our upper air pattern at 500 millibars is the upper upstairs of the atmosphere. Here's our closed low over the Ohio River Valley. Here's a west to east flow coming in from off of California and the Pacific as well. Lots of energy here in this jet structure. Closed low here south of the Aleutian Islands, and a lot of blocking here over Scandinavia and portions of Europe. So nothing's moving too fast under this domain, but there are jet structures that are underneath it, and the jet structures are basically moving from west to east. What do you get when you look at the jet stream structure at 250 millibars? Well, you have a Pacific jet coming in and blaring Pacific jet. Look at all of this energy south of the Aleutian Islands coming into the northern reaches here of the United States, and our Pacific jet flooding west to east flow in the upper levels of the atmosphere here. And then, of course, you have blocking here over Hudson's Bay. Got blocking here. So, you're going to get this looks kind of normal to me for this time of the year, but, what's normal anymore, really? Naturally, at this time of the year, at 10 millibars, the upstairs, which is the stratosphere, here's our polar vortex located exactly where it should be, retreating over the Arctic Circle here, and underneath, everything seems relatively calm. And of course, across Australia and South America, yeah, this looks right to me. West to east to west flow here, that looks good. And this looks good too. Correct. And New Jersey Kokura stations reporting in from last night, early this morning. Just a little bit of rain here. Maybe a quarter of an inch, tenth of an inch here in southern New Jersey across Cape May County. Yeah, so that makes sense to me given the situation that we're in. And right now, very little has been reported across northern New Jersey. Maybe 1/100th of an inch, 1/100th of an inch, maybe 1/3 of an inch. Checking in with the gang at the National Weather Service office in Philadelphia, Mount Holly, our beautiful buddies and girls that, make meteorology spectacular. Small craft advisories, again, along the coast, southern coast of Connecticut, Long Island here, New Jersey coast, back bays of the Delaware, that makes sense. And of course, maybe a little bit of a coastal flood statement here across western New York, Long Island area. But other than that, we see on the radar, everything is just like spotty and light right now. Yeah. And of course, the other day we talked about the EF0 tornado confirmed in Normandy Beach, New Jersey on April 21st. So that was 5 days ago. We had that severe line of showers and thunderstorms race across eastern New Jersey into the coastal waters. And it was a water spout, actually, and it came back on land and then, dissipated. Here you go. And national precipitation, 168-hour stage 4. Precipitation analysis in inches up to yesterday morning. Well, not too much here, not too much there. A lot of stuff here. Inches and inches and inches of rain here, and in portions of Florida and the Panhandle as well. Naturally could be expected. National temperatures today, well, we're going to do okay in the mid-plains and, of course, the southern plains, the mid and south Atlantic states, including Florida, where I belong, in the 80s and 90s. Look at the Northeast again. How can you live in the Northeast? Said Paul Simon. Look at California. Look at these temperatures here. Wow, this looks good to me. This comes to us from, I don't know, Climate Prediction Center? Yeah, Weather Prediction Center, the WPC branch of NOAA. 7-day precipitation forecast ending Sunday, May 3rd. And as you can see, it's going to be plenty wet here across the Northeast, the northern mid-Atlantic region. Yeah, get used to it. We've got a lot of busy weather coming up this week. Not so good. Nah. Climate Prediction Center's forecast here for the next 6 to 10 days, beginning Friday, May 1st through Tuesday, the 5th of May. Near normal temperatures here across the upper Great Lakes into the northern reaches of the Ohio River Valley and most of New Jersey. Below normal here across southern New England. Everybody else seems to be warming up. 8 to 14 day. Let's take a look at that. That's coming up. That's Sunday, the 3rd of May through the 9th of May. Oh dear Lord. It's cold again here in the Northeast. How can you live in the Northeast? Said Paul Simon. Yeah, look at this. Just gorgeous here across the South. Let's look at the precipitation forecast. Wet. It's wet across the northern tier, dry across the southern tier over the next 6 to 10 days from the 1st to the 5th of May. And then from the 3rd of May to the 9th of May, it's pretty wet across the northern plains and the Northwest. It's dry across California, and it's moderately wet here across the Midwest, the Southeast, and interior portions of the Northeast as well. How can you live in the Northeast, right? Paul Simon. National Digital Forecast Database blended forecast for New Jersey, New York, Philly metro area over the next 10 days. Obviously, today is just like downright chilly and raw. Upper 40s to low and mid 50s. And, you get into, our I-95 corridor, you get into portions of Delaware. Temperature is going to get into the 60s, but not here, not in northern New Jersey, and certainly not on Monday either. No. 40s and 50s will do it at best as the cold front comes through. Temperatures warm up on Tuesday, the 28th, back into the upper 50s and low and mid 60s, which looks good. And then temperatures fall back into the 50s and upper 60s, 70s actually, as you head down towards Washington, D.C. You see the contrast here, folks? Do you see it? That's your forecast going forward. This summer is going to be a challenge. Upper 50s here in New England, the Hudson River Valley area, Connecticut, and low and mid 60s, just about everybody else on Thursday, so that looks pretty good. Temperatures on Friday look good too, in the low to mid 60s here across the I-95 corridor. Temperatures on Saturday look good. That's about normal for this time of the year. Then we start to warm up again by May 3rd on next Sunday, next weekend. Temperatures in the upper 60s, low and mid 70s, and it looks good again next Monday, May 4th. And of course, on May 5th, my mother's birthday, I would celebrate her birthday, of course, which is the following day on day 11, which is the 6th, with temperatures in the 60s and low 70s. So this looks good for this time of the year. We'll use the broad scale, macro scale European model guidance from last night. Here's our upper level low over the Ohio River Valley, spokes of rain moving through. This doesn't look too impressive to me. There comes another disturbance and a cold front through. Here's our next disturbance on Wednesday and Thursday. This would be Wednesday night, Thursday morning. High pressure off the coast, southerly flow. Here comes more showers. Could be some embedded thunderstorms with this. This looks pretty impressive as an upper level low gets going here into the St. Lawrence River Valley. Strong cold front comes through the area. So we could be dealing with a lot more precipitation around here by the mid to the late part of the week, and that it exits and gets out of here. And then, just additional cold fronts coming through. Here's another one on May 4th that comes through, slides through, kind of dries out, lingers across the south. Areas of waves and low pressure along it, but, not so impressive. What is impressive to me is the heat. Yeah, this is impressive to me. The heat that builds over the southern plains and the western United States and into Mexico. Yeah, it's going to get hot. Hot there. Hot tamales. Love using a blend of the 850 millibar temperatures, the mid-level temperatures in the atmosphere off the European model guidance. It's cold in the northeast, and it's very warm in the south. But look at all this heat across Texas, Arizona, the southern plains, the Colorado Rockies here through Wednesday. And look at the cold pool coming in for next Thursday and Friday with our cold front here across the eastern United States. That begins to minor out, but by the end of the period, we're still cold in the northeast. On Wednesday, May 6th, my mother's birthday, and a couple of other friends, look at the temperature profile in the mid-levels of the atmosphere across southern Canada here into the Rockies and into California and the desert Southwest, and especially over Mexico. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Why do we live here? And through Wednesday, May 6th, look where all the heavy precipitation is located here across the Ohio River Valley, the Tennessee and Mississippi River Valley into the northeast here. Yeah, cold fronts and disturbances moving through, upper level lows. But where the heat is on in this area, well, you got it. Yeah, there's convection and a lot of rainfall around Cancun, and Playa del Carmen and Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. But if you look over the interior here, back into the southwest here of the United States and into California and everything, looks dry. It looks dry. Looks dry. Looks dry. So that's going to do it for the morning edition of the video forecast discussion for this Sunday, the 26th of April, 2020. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. I have a sinus headache. We will be back later this afternoon or tonight, and be safe out there. Continue to follow directions. Yeah, please. I read so many sad stories on NewJersey.com, and it's just too much. Please, people, do the right thing. For GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. You have a great Sunday out there. The best, the one that you can. The best, the one that you can. And we'll speak to you again this afternoon.